All right. Well, welcome back to another episode here of Bound by Banking. Today we are joined by Brandon Herbison. Thank you for joining us today, Brandon. How are you doing today?
Absolutely. I'm good. Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate having me on and look forward to the discussion.
Yeah, very good. So, Brandon, before we hop in, why don't you take a minute or two, kind of tell a little bit more about your background and your experience to the viewers?
Absolutely. It's gone by fast. So I've been in the banking industry now for 13 and a half, coming up on 14 years, so pretty quick. So yeah, it doesn't seem like it was that long ago since being an analyst and going through the kind of the credit training programs and been in the production kind of commercial lending business banking side of things for 11 years now. So like I said, it's gone by quick. Doesn't seem like it's been that long, and still feel like I should be the young guy on the block. But yeah, it's been fun to certainly kind of go full circle on things. And just actually last week got announced to run our North Dallas team here at Texas Security Bank. So
Nice.
get to step in the side of more on the management side and lead the team. So certainly excited for that opportunity.
Very cool. That sounds like it'd be a lot of fun. So,
For sure. I'm excited for it. We've got a good group over here.
very cool. Very good. Well, awesome. Well, if you're ready to, we can go ahead and hop right into it, Brandon.
Love it. Let's do it.
All right. So, first question I have here for you is what is something in the banking industry that's changed in the last year or so and had a bigger impact maybe than what you expected?
Yeah, it's it's one of those things that we haven't had a ton of merger and acquisition activity in the market for really a while. I mean, probably the last decade. There's a few banks here and there that have been acquired, and but certainly not to the pace that we've seen, especially here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I need to double check my stats because it seems like it's adding on, but I think there was 10 banks that were bought and sold here in the DFW area over 2025, and certainly with a
Hmm.
couple others being announced here recently. So with that, it's certainly got a lot of opportunity for a lot of other banks and everything around here that can try to pick up some clients and all that through may have through those mergers or personnel changes and all that as well. But that certainly is kind of the first time in my career where it's like, man, there's quite a bit of activity and some turmoil, if you will, within kind of the sector where not only clients but then also bankers as well have been moving around a little bit here in the last year or so. So that's been exciting for us, certainly with us being we're 18 years old now for the bank. So got started in 2008, but strong roots based here in Dallas, and that's hopefully led to some additional opportunities, picking up clients and growing our book of business.
Yeah, yeah. No, I would agree with that. I think me personally as well, I've seen a little bit of an uptick in kind of the M&A space, and it's odd. We may have clients reach out to us of like, hey, we just got word today that we're being acquired, or like we've got some new branches that we're acquiring. Like, can you help us out with some marketing? And so it's kind of a day by day thing, but I didn't realize there was that many here in the DFW
Yeah,
area. It
it's
seems.
for sure. Like I said, some big names in there with America and things like that get announced. Obviously, Veritex is here. Vista Bank, Cadence Bank just got announced. Independent, obviously up in kind of the Collin County area. So like I said,
Hmm.
it's been some moving and shaking in the marketplace there, which like I said is just opens up opportunities for everybody. So we're excited.
Absolutely. That's the right mindset of finding that opportunity and how can you capitalize on it. So
That's
that's the right
exactly right.
mindset to have. So very cool. Okay, so let's move on to another question here for you. When you hear banks trying to stay competitive, what does that actually mean for like a local community or regional bank for you?
Yeah, it's so we have and really the whole mindset of why we started our bank 18 years ago was we found this niche out there where we're small enough and flat enough at an organization to where we can move quick and make decisions without having to go through all the bureaucracy of some bigger banks. But also we have the technology and all that to lean on to where we're relatively branch light, but we have the technology to lean on to where you really shouldn't have to come to a bank anymore unless you just want to come say like that. So
Yeah.
we try to kind of leverage both those pieces. I mean, we're $1.4 billion in assets now, but certainly looking to grow, quite a bit the next 8 to 10 years with some of our plans. But Yeah, I mean, staying competitive. So our bread and butter is and you'll hear this probably from other bankers as well, is a relationship aspect side of things.
Yep.
So, but we coupled that with the technology to be able to handle a lot of the bigger, kind of, clients out there where, even if you're, 500 million or so in revenue, I mean, that's still, a lot of community banks, you outgrow them pretty quickly if you get, into the kind of the middle market space. Well, we thrive in that as kind of
Yeah.
being, still into that middle market, small business middle market, but commercial banking clientele. So we don't have a huge consumer presence, again, just being branch light, but with that, we've tailored ourselves towards, law firms,
Hmm.
property management companies. Some of these, we call them deposit rich, but some of these large, 1031 exchange groups that will hold a lot of funds and be kind of the intermediary. So we've got to have the technology to be able to support that, because that's a large part of our deposit base. And then also again with the middle market or more sophisticated borrowers to be able to provide, that may have 1,000 employees or something like that to still be able to handle the load from an online banking standpoint. Uh, you know, so it's kind of that sweet spot where the big banks have the technology and all that, but don't necessarily have the relationship or the customer service standards. But also from a community bank standpoint to have the technology to again rely on and lean into.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's something that I've been kind of saying for a while is that banking has become very ingrained and intertwined with technology, which is a good thing. There's a lot of benefits that come from it, but you still have to focus and make sure that you have that human connection. And so
For sure.
that's where I think you're going to find that perfect balance is how can we have this human connection and intertwine it with the right technology and provide the best customer experience. So I
Exactly right. Yeah, we've certainly haven't tried to lose sight. I mean, and thankfully, a lot of our clients and things like that have again gravitated towards us because when we really don't have a 1-800 number. It's here's my cell phone number, shoot
yep.
us a text, give us a call. Here's me and my team, and you know who you're talking to on the other side, and we learn your business and grow with you. So
Yeah. Well, and I like the part how you were talking about how you kind of have your niches there and different verticals. And I think specializing in those areas and, really combating of like we're the best at this specific thing, you're able to really kind of shoot up and grow that way. And then you can start growing outwards from there. So
absolutely, one
I
thousand
don't want to,
percent. Yeah. Figure out
very
what you're
cool.
really good at, do that well, and keep working through it. And then yeah, you can be okay at kind of some of the other stuff. But if you know what you're good at, then yeah, certainly put the effort and focus into that aspect of it.
Exactly. Exactly. So, very cool. All right. So, last question here for you, Brandon. So, I got to ask you a question because we feel like we hear this a lot of banks want to try to focus on short-term results, which is a good thing. There's obviously plenty of things you could do, but they also want to focus on that long term of building that solid brand and that name and reputation. How do you focus on doing both at the same time?
Yeah, it is a balancing act. Certainly, I mean, everybody, yeah, wants results now, and shareholders certainly want return on the money. I mean, we are fortunate to still be privately owned, and so you're not going quarter to quarter and having to respond to somebody on Wall Street of what your earnings are that specific quarter. But I'd say we are very driven by our core values, and so we've got 10 different core values that we work through, and we recite them. We pick one each month. We recite it. So that kind of builds a culture for our organization and our brand that kind of ties into that as well. So that's more from an internal, obviously, piece that we try to obviously work through and get out to the marketplace. But so that's kind of our driver. I mean, we really hit pretty hard on our core values and have that be our guiding light day in and day out. So certainly that's a big piece. I'd say that is kind of your long-term branding.
Hmm.
And then it's kind of it's easier said. Obviously, I haven't been here for 18 years, so I didn't have to start at the bank from day one. But with having to, I'd say we have a long-term brand always in mind. I mean, it's we're here to play the long game. We're not here just to do kind of a quick sale and all that. So it's a lot easier to kind of build towards that, and then you stack kind of wins from there. But I mean, we one of kind of our niches as well is we've created a TSB Academy, is what it's called, Texas Security Bank Academy. So it's very heavy towards the education piece for small business owners and some of the key players that they have. It's kind of an executive MBA type of level course where we have 10 different sessions throughout the year, kind of 2 different semesters, if you will, and you'll actually graduate. And then we also do business speaker series. So again, we've figured out kind of the brand that I'd kind of say that is our brand. I mean, banking at the end of the day is selling commodities, or we're selling commodities is paper and money. And so we've tried to figure out ways to differentiate ourselves from there and build that brand. Again, it's taken, a lot of stones, everything to be put in place to get it to where it is
Hmm.
today. But it's certainly very unique in the marketplace and something that we're very proud of, and hopefully it adds a lot of value to our clients and prospects as well. So kind of a combination of answers there. I mean, again, it's we have a marketing group and things like that that are, hey, we're pushing things on LinkedIn or quite honestly even Google reviews and things like that to try to improve on. Where if somebody gives us or looks us up, day one, hey, we've got a 4.8 or whatever it is, 4.9 Google rating. So that's kind of the short-term results that we're continuing to try to improve. But I think a lot of that's just the foundation that we've built and continue to build through kind of the long-term branding piece.
Yeah, yeah. No, absolutely. And I heard one time years ago that building a brand is very similar to building a wall. It's a brick by brick sort of mentality. And, if there are certain things that you don't put the right focus or the right emphasis on, then you're going to have holes in your walls. And at that point, it's not a very good wall, it won't protect you very well. So, I think it's all the little accumulative things coming together and adding up. And yeah, building a brand does take time. It takes, a lot of hard work and repetition, but if done correctly, can be very, very powerful.
Yeah, and I think it's a very conscious and intentional kind of piece that you have to do.
Yeah.
Again, kind of going back to our core values that we rely on. I mean, that really is our brand. That's what again is our guiding light at the end of the day. That hey, when in doubt, let's fall back to our values here.
Yep.
And you, like I said, you just have to be very intentional on keeping that front of mind. And everybody's got can have values on the wall, but until you're actually implementing and kind of going living those day in and day out, then really doesn't mean a whole lot. So.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's good. I'm glad you guys have those core values to fall back on. I mean, that's what they're there for. And as that daily reminder, that weekly reminder. So it's good to have
Yeah,
those.
for sure. For
Very
sure.
cool. Awesome. Well, Brandon, that's all I got for you today. So I really
Yeah,
appreciate you hopping on. I loved hearing your insights and loved hearing your responses. So thank you again for joining us today.
absolutely. Well, my pleasure. And yeah, enjoyed our conversation. Look forward to talking to you again here soon.
Absolutely.